that your diet is 50% of your yoga practice. And so the first thing you want to do, drink water. You got to drink water. How much water should a person drink? Y'all tell me that.
Half your body weight.
There you go. 10 pounds of water. And ounces of water. Okay, so you weigh 200 pounds, you should drink 100 ounces of water. That's just a rule of thumb, you know. And so the way that we develop the food pyramid, the foundation of your food pyramid is not food, it is the breath. So that's the first thing, that's the most important thing that you take in. Because how long can you go without breathing? About 5 to 6 minutes at the most, right? Mm-hmm. We should train ourselves to breathe, to hold our breath under the water for 6 minutes, right? So most people be dead. But we would train ourselves to stay calm and just stay underneath the water for 6 minutes. That was part of our yoga training, okay? And then, how long can you go without water? You can't go no more than about a week. You got to have water. But you can go for you can go for a long time without food. Brother Brother David, E.T. here, he be going for like, he ain't ate no food for about 15 years. He don't never eat. All he eat is some cashews, some dates, some oranges.
Can't get the watermelon.
Oh yeah, watermelon. Your season's coming.
He a watermelon addict. You know, but that's all he eats. So people think you have to eat all this food, but you don't need all that stuff. You know, we eat out of addiction. We don't really eat out of need. Okay, and so I'm going on a fast for 40 days. I didn't die. I didn't even lose much weight. After a while, your body stabilizes itself, and you don't even lose too much weight. So your body needs the breath, and then it needs water, and after that it needs fruit. And you could really live without nothing else but breath, water, and fruit. But then, as you go up the pyramid, you get into your vegetables, and then you get into your nuts and your seeds, or you can get into your nuts and your seeds and then your vegetables, you know, either way. And then the top of your pyramid, at least the smallest amount of food that you need is going to be like your grains. So your brown rice, your lentils, your beans, you put those as a small amount of what you need to have. And people who are raw foodists and stuff like that, they eat their rice and their beans and lentils, they eat those things sprouted, right? Because they want to get the nutrients from them without having to cook them. So they sprout them or they soak them for an extended period of time so that they can eat them raw. So you look up a brother named Aris Latham, and he's like a brother who he was one of the brothers who started the whole global raw food movement. It's called Sunfire Foods, right? Mm-hmm. And he don't even drink water. Mm-hmm. He just drink the water from coconuts. And so, but he always lived in a place where you can get coconut off the tree. He don't go to Whole Foods and get no coconut water out the carton. But, coconut water in World War II, when they would run out of, when they was fighting and people get injured, they ran out of blood. For blood transfusions, they would connect people to watermelon, not watermelon. That's what the black folks would have did. Watermelon juice. But they connected themselves to coconut water. because coconut water is very, very similar to the composition of your blood. So that's why when you see me, I be missing for months at a time. I be in Brazil, Jamaica. I be drinking I have to go someplace where I can get. I don't go to Germany and France. I go places where they got coconuts. They grow off the tree, and I can pick it off the tree, or they got it readily available for me. Ghana. Go to Ghana, they got coconut everywhere. Every place you look, people are buying coconuts on the street. And when you go to Brazil, it's 200 million people live in Brazil. 100 million of people live in Brazil. At least 100 million of them is black. And everybody's skinny, because everybody drink coconut water off the street. You go down the street, you can buy coconut water everywhere. You can buy coconut water, get you some papunya juice and all kind of stuff, all kind of different exotic fruits and stuff, So, at any rate, that's why it's good to travel. So we take a trip to Brazil every October. Didn't you go? Mm-hmm. Yeah. So she went, Erica went with us in last October, and she had a great time.
Yeah.
We had to protect all the men from her. The men. She was like, look at him. They were, the men and the women. I like women.
Yeah. No, the people were beautiful. It was like Wakanda.
Yeah.
It was. Because like you said, they exercise too, as well as eat very well.
Yeah, when you get up in the morning, you see people outside on the street. People be,
running.
Their culture is to run, especially in Salvador where we was at. I don't know about Rio and Sao Paulo and stuff, but in Salvador where we was at, their culture that we're gonna get up in the morning, we're gonna run. Okay, and that's the kind of culture we need to have. Get up in the morning and run. Get up in the morning and walk. Get you a stick to fight off the dogs and stuff. I was gonna say the other thing. Get you a stick, you need a stick, and walk down with your stick. But put it into your mind, ain't nobody gonna bother you. Get up early in the morning and go walking.
Yeah.
You got to move, and you'll be better off for it. The earlier when I used to practice yoga, I was a single father, and I would, I'm talking a lot, but I would, if I had to be, I would make myself get up earlier than my kids. I get up at least an hour earlier than my kids wake up to do my practice. And you have to discipline yourself to do the things that because then I'll be 73 on my birthday. Because when you get most black men, they dead at this age. My father was dead when he was 69. He died at 69. My sister died. My oldest sister died when she was in her 40s. So, most black men are dead by the time they're my age. And by the time they get to this age, they be all debilitated. They got cancer, they got the gout, they got the hypertension, they got the diabetes, they got all that kind of stuff, heart disease, all that kind of stuff, And what does that stuff come from? It comes from eating the bad food and lack of movement. You have to move, And so you have to invest in yourself. So that's all I can say. So anyway, that's in our class. So we'll put our left arm across the chest. We always put the right arm